It's a privilege to have you. All my attorneys here on the panel are very excited.
Very jealous.
So let's start with some of Gawker's claims. They claim that evidence like text messages were kept from the jury. What about that?
The text messages all support Terry Bollea that he knew nothing about it. Gawker's either delusional or they have a fundamental misconception of this trial in their defense. The text messages absolutely show that he did not know. So does most of the 1,800 pages. I think there's 2 or 3 paragraphs in what's referred to as an FBI 302, which is a police report, where Bubba says Terry knew. That was way back early on when there were certainly some very bad feelings between the two. Since then, he's apologized repeatedly, given sworn testimony in a deposition, as well as cooperated with the Tampa Police Department in their investigation, and in each and every occasion said that Terry Bollea didn't know. AJ Delario on the witness stand admitted that Hulk Hogan naked in the video was not newsworthy. Nick Denton on his testimony admitted that if it's gratuitous, it's not protected by the First Amendment. And, of course, then we liken back to AJ's testimony where, of course, he assured us that it wasn't newsworthy, it was gratuitous. So between the two of them, they gave us the greatest gift when they decided to take the witness stand in their own defense. And their bond should be posted.
And David, I'm going to play for you some tape where we're discussing one of the comments that I guess it was the editor or founder wrote. I think it was the actual journalist, so-called, that wrote the article about this and about asking about what would they not report. Why don't you guys play that?
Imagine a situation where a celebrity sex tape would not be newsworthy.
If they were a child.
Under what age?
4.
Annalise just threw up here in the middle of the set. That was one of the most bizarre, disgusting displays of amoral thinking I've ever seen. But there was even more to this, I guess, David, right?
Yeah, there's much more to it. There's 2 times that he actually said that during the course of his deposition. One time you just played, but he reaffirmed it when there was a comment about Miley Cyrus, and he responded, well, she's over 4, isn't she? In reference to whether or not they would publish a sex tape of Miley Cyrus. But, and this is more, certainly something the attorneys would know, when you take a deposition, there's a piece of paper at the end of the deposition where the person has a chance for a 30-day time period to read that deposition transcript. If they want to fix anything, if they want to correct anything, they're allowed and entitled to do that. AJ Delario did, in fact, correct certain things, but what he did not correct was his answer concerning the aspect of anybody over 4 years of age is essentially fair game. And what you have to understand is, according to Delario and Denton, anyone who has a Facebook page is conceivably a public figure and therefore fair game.
It's disgusting.
It sucked the air out of that courtroom. You would have had to be present. I've done a lot of trials. I have never seen one comment have that sort of an effect.
When I heard them reading, Kurt, it wasn't just the tape, it was what they wrote under the tape of describing what they saw. With each sentence, I got angrier and angrier and angrier. I just imagine what went on in that room.
When I'm in a case and I'm doing a deposition and somebody on the other side makes a comment like that, then I know is going to go on the record. I start thinking about my new car.
Exactly.
That was good. I think it backfired on him.
Oh,
the jurors, obviously.
Yeah.
Terrible.
You have to think, where was his attorney?
Yeah, well, exactly.
What was
the
his attorney
objections?
doing?
Who prepared this guy? What did they do? Say, okay, get in there, be the biggest jerk humanly possible, and offend every sense of moral decency on the 6 people who get picked and put in the box. Good move.
I keep going. Go ahead, David.
If you understand what goes on at Gawker, there is a level of arrogance that is unequaled. In other words, they sit in this $3 million per year leased cocoon, hide behind their computer screens, pat each other on the back for destroying somebody else's life, and then they have this philosophy. They tell people who complain, if you keep your mouth shut, it'll pass quickly. If you make a big deal out of it, then simply you are prolonging it, and it's your fault. And not unremarkably, Nick Denton wrote a piece yesterday where he literally said the same thing about Bollea and said essentially it's his own fault for bringing it up. So in other words, if you complain, if you file a lawsuit about their conduct, it's your fault. It's an amazing mindset that exists there.
It's unbelievable to me that it is a primitive intent to tear down somebody who dares to stand up. It's a primitive human sacrifice impulse. These people should be punished roundly for this.